Reliance Retail, Reliance Jio, Reliance Oil to Gas. These are some of the subsidiaries of Reliance Industries. And few days ago result were around. Now today we are going to talk about how was the result of Reliance Industries and all these subsidiaries. Again in future when the demerger happens, maybe after 1 or 2 years, how all these subsidiaries are going to perform and what will be the value unlocking as a retail investor. So from here, whether you should stay in Reliance Industry for next 1 to 2 years, that is what we are going to talk in detail, and the performance of each and subsidiary will tell you what will be the future prospects of the whole Reliance company. So friends, welcome everyone. My name is CA Tapan Doshi. Let us start our analysis of Reliance Industry Q2 financial year 24 result. Overall, if you talk about Reliance result, it was quite good. EBITDA was up by almost 31% overall at a company level, consolidated level. In that, Reliance Retail was up by almost 32% year on year, which is quite ahead from the estimates. If you talk about oil and gas was also up by almost 36%, which was also much more against the estimates. But if you talk about Reliance Jio EBITDA was up by almost 15%, which is below estimate. E&P, if you talk about E&P, okay, first of all, OTC is nothing but oil to chemicals. E&P is nothing but the exploration and production. That was up by almost 50% year on year. So that also shown very growth. So across, other than Reliance Jio, across all the segment performed quite well. Consolidated PBT was around 265 billion, which is quite good. Year on year, it was quite a good growth and it was ahead than estimates. Even the profit after tax, which was around 174 billion rupees, that is also quite good, ahead of the estimates. So if you see across all the segment, we talk about revenue, even profitability, Reliance has done a good job in the last quarter. So first of all, let us talk about Reliance Retail. This segment has done very well. Overall, the EBITDA was up by 31%. One of the main lead why the growth has come was because of the grocery. Year on year growth was good, even fashion and apparels. But yes, there was a little bit fall in electronic section, but overall the growth was good. And overall, if you see, EBITDA has done a very good job. Now from here also it looks very good because see, the retail segment is increasing a lot, and again they are acquiring lot of other brands also. That show they are quite focused that they want to increase this segment much more bigger and bigger. And after demerger, when this segment is separated, I think that may give you a good value. In financial year 2023, 3,000 stores are added. Again, 555 stores added in Q1. So you can see here they are quite aggressive in acquisition also, and also opening new stores, which may lead to a new growth in the Reliance Retail. Again, oil and gas business has done very well. Around 191 billion was the total EBITDA, which has done very well. Of course, this was done because there was a higher margin, operating margin in refining, and which has led to this jump in the margin. Again, as the oil and gas prices across, the crude oil prices trailing around $90 per barrel, which will impact in a good way to all these oil and refinery margins. Yes, that withholding tax is levied by the government whenever there is a high rise in the oil prices. But yes, overall, if you see, because the oil prices are remaining high, I think oil and gas segment will do much better from here also, at least for few months, till this geopolitical crisis and Russia, Ukraine, even this Israel and Hamas war, whatever going on. Because of that, oil will be remaining at an elevated level, and this may indirectly benefit oil and petrochemical business of Reliance, that you always have to keep in mind. Now let us talk about Reliance Jio. Reliance Jio total revenue was 248 billion, which was almost similar to what the estimates was there by all the analysts. However, the EBITDA was little bit on a lower side. Mostly they have added 11.1 million new customers during the last Q2. Also, the ARPU, what is ARPU? Average revenue per user is around 181.7, which is little bit lower than the estimate, which was around 182. See, ARPU plays a big role, because if the ARPU goes up, ARPU basically, if it goes up, that will give a lot of benefit to the company, because the margin of the company goes up, because the more they charge to the customer, more they add to the profitability. But whether they are going to increase this ARPU or not, people are saying that they may increase increase to 200, 250 in future. But see, it is not so easy to increase ARPU in such a way. Government is also there. Of course, now it is like a one type of duopoly between Airtel and Reliance. They have their pricing power, but I don't know whether they'll able to increase their ARPUs in a significant level. Of course, in last 1 year, they've increased their ARPU. Still, if you compare with the world level, no, our ARPU is very low. At world level, internet is very costly. But if you talk about India, internet and telecom service is very cheap, and that is benefiting the common people of India. Now, whether in future they are increase the ARPU or not, that is the main question remains. But yes, whenever they increase, that will directly add to the margin of Reliance Jio. And in future, if the demerger, whenever it happens, I think it will help directly Reliance Jio. Another big lever of Reliance Jio will be 5G rollout. You know, the 5G rollout is happening around 8,000 towns in India. Now, this will play a big role because monetization of 5G rollout is still not done. And whenever there is a monetization of this 5G rollout, they see telecom is a business where you have to provide the capex upfront, and then you are getting the monetization, and then you are reaping the benefits across the several years. So that is what happening in Reliance Jio also. They are putting all the capex for the 5G rollout. Now in future, once the 5G rollout monetization start, I think this will add the benefit for the company. Plus, 5G rollout is the future at the end of the day. Both Reliance and Bharti Airtel are working very hard in that rollout. So let's see how fast they are able to complete. But it says that even the management is saying that it's going to complete soon. Reliance capex in the quarter 2 is around 388 billion, which is lower compared to the last quarter 396 billion. Now understand why the capex is on a higher side. The capex is on the higher side because the 5G rollout happening for Jio, and by December 2023 they are saying that mostly all the rollout will happening. So the capex will be falling a lot in the next year, and that will help them to reduce the interest cost. If you talk about Reliance net debt is currently standing at 1177 billion rupees, which is lower than the earlier. Also, they are doing lot of sales tech. Now they have done off their stake of RVLL is nothing but Reliance Venture Retail Limited, and they have collected around 103 billion rupees, and which is helping to reduce the net debt. If you talk about Reliance consolidated free cash flow, currently free cash flow is negative 133 billion, which is, of course, if you talk about the last few quarters, it was around 433 billion rupees. Now the negative cash flow is going down, but slowly and gradually, as I told you, once the net debt goes down, of course this is before interest, but overall when the monetization of 5G will happen, again net debt goes down. I think the free cash flow will become positive in the coming future. Friends, this was all about the numbers. Now let us take each and every segment in detail. First we'll talk about O2C, oil to chemical business. You know, this is the predominantly traditional business through which Reliance industry was started. Now if you talk about that, currently because of this geopolitical crisis across the world, I think the demand will remain on a higher side. Even the margin currently looks good comparatively than earlier. From here, how will be the future in next 5-10 years? That is what need to be seen. Then at that time, electric vehicle will be there in a much more larger way compared to what it is there now. So yes, if you talk about future 5-10 years, yes, this segment will go down. But if you talk about currently next 6 months, 1 year or 2 year, I think still the demand will remain same or maybe on a higher only, because this geopolitical crisis, this Russia Ukraine or Israel Hamas thing is not going to settle too easily, and that will keep the oil prices much more on a higher side. Also, if you see now, currently the biggest market of oil and gas is nothing but China, who is the biggest importer of oil and gas. Currently their economy is not doing well. So in future, if the China economy goes up, of course there will be a big demand on oil and gas, and that is where Reliance may get benefit out of it. So as I told you, that near term 1 year 2 year, I think oil and gas is quite good because of this crisis and everything. I think they are very much in a better position currently. But in future, maybe if you take 5 or 10 years, then we have to think about this segment whether it will have the same significance what they are having currently. If we talk about Reliance Jio, you know, It is one of the leading telecom company in India. And also, if you see the way that business has expanded in last 5 years is commendable. Now from here, what is the thing? What is the future prospects? Now future prospect, if you talk about, the main thing is when the monetization is happening for this 5G rollout. By this December 2020, the 5G rollout will be completed from Reliance side, and they've done a heavy investment, heavy capital investment on this. That main capex was 5G rollout only. Now once this is done, how fast they are able to monetize all these plans, that seems to be the main question, because this is what they are working on it. This is their trump card. Now if this works on a better way, I think Reliance Jio will be in a very, very good position. Of course, Reliance Jio along with the Reliance Retail are working very hard on this part. So all depends on 5G rollout, and again the monetization of the 5G rollout. Now whether in future the ARPU, that is ARPU, what I told you, average price per user, whether they are going to go up or not from 181 rupees or not. If it goes to 190, about 200, I think that will be a very, very good sign for Reliance, because they are putting heavy investment in this business. Now in future, when the demerger happens and when the Reliance Jio is separated, I think all these criteria which I am telling you will play a big role. But yes, currently the future looks promising, but whether all these things is already discounted in the prices, that needs to be seen, because all the private equity players has come at a very, very rich valuation. Correct. So many things are already discounted, but yes, how early they are able to monetize that 5G rollout, and also how they are able to increase the ARPU plays a big role. If you talk about Reliance Retail is also expanding very fast. In 2020, there were 3,000 stores open. In Q1 also 555 stores open in India. That shows how aggressive they are in Reliance Retail. Against Reliance Jio is helping Reliance Retail a lot. Reliance Jio is also doing well, but whether it is profitable, that is the question mark we have to see, because Reliance Retail is also a capex business. But once you have such a big network, you have one type of monopoly. Also, what I have seen recent time, Reliance Retail is acquiring many new brands. They want to have a one shop destination for each and every customer, and that's why they are acquiring so many brands. Whether you talk about luxury, whether you talk about retail, consumer, or groceries, whatever you talk about, they are doing left, right, center acquisition, because they want to be number one. So Reliance Retail, yes, it looks good. Even if you talk about currently the valuation, the biggest valuation in Reliance industry is of Reliance Retail. Future look promising, but from here how they take it over, that into scene. Also the main picture of all these firms will come to know only when there is a demerger happen, and when then they start trading by themselves. Currently it is everything is under Reliance umbrella, where Reliance Jio is there, Reliance Retail is there, and oil to gas is there. But I think maybe they are planning, maybe in 1 year, 2 years, they may roll out everything separately when there is a demerger. And this is the time where we have to see how these three are going to perform. When we talk about valuation in future, I think the Reliance Retail will be having a highest valuation, maybe around 9,000 odd billion rupees. Then the OTC business will be around 6,200 billion rupees something, and maybe around Reliance Jio will be around 5,800 billion. Now this may be the valuation in future, which looks like that overall, if you talk about remove the net debts, then it will be around 18,000 odd billion total market capitalization. Thinking about that, I think from here the Reliance looks good. If you want to talk about next 2 years, and after 2-3 years, once the demerger happens, then we have to see how the each and individual companies are performing. When the Reliance Jio, Reliance Retail and OTC business are segregated, I think Reliance Jio, Reliance Retail will be a better candidate compared to Reliance OTC business. But yes, as it is under the same umbrella, we have to talk about currently as a Reliance Group as a consolidated level. From here, I think the things look better. The valuation is on the Reliance side, because we have that comfort, because it has gone to around 2250 level, and that's why the comfort is there for. So if you want to go for next 2-3 years, I think if you are targeting around 12 to 13, sorry, 13 to 15%. I think this may be a very good candidate, and it may happen that if Reliance demerger is coming soon, this price may go up. So this is what I think about Reliance. So hope you like this video, and put in the comment box whether you are holding any Reliance share or not, again at what price. So please put it. I do review your comments and do reply. So be there always, and do subscribe to our channel and do like this video, and I'll see you soon in the next video.